Then she kissed them, and they wept aloud and said to her, "We will go back with you to your people." But Naomi said, "Return home, my daughters. Why would you come with me? Am I going to have any more sons who could become your husbands? Return home, my daughters. I am too old to have another husband. Even if I thought there was still hope for me, even if I had a husband tonight and then gave birth to sons, would you wait until they grew up? Would you remain unmarried for them? No, my daughters, it is more bitter for me than for you because the Lord's hand has gone out against me." That's interesting. So Naomi's feeling like Naomi is feeling like she's in punishment. So, and that is the humanistic thing, whether it's right or wrong for a human to feel when things are going bad. Definitely, the loss of her two sons really struck her, in that she's proclaiming her feelings as well. And so, with that grief that she's having, she's making statements, and you never know what's going to be utilized, like how your life is utilizing the reasons for things, both good and bad. Everything plays a role into each and every one's story. Your story, my story, and of course Naomi's story, and Ruth's story, and Orpah's story. So we now know that how she's stated, and how she stated this, I feel like she's still, she's accepted that her children are gone, but she may be still a little grievous. What kind of thoughts or feelings come to your mind? How does it make you feel, and what does it make you think? Let's continue to read. At this, they wept again. Then Orpah kissed her mother in law goodbye, but Ruth clung to her. "Look," said Naomi, "your sister in law is going back to her people and her gods. Go back with her." So now we know, confirmed, that both Ruth and Orpah were Moabites, and they did not worship the Lord. They had their own gods. But Ruth replied, "Don't urge me to leave you or to turn back from you. Where you go, I will go, and where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God, my God. Where you die, I will die, and there will be buried, and there I will be buried. May the Lord deal with me, be it ever so severely, if anything but death it separates you and me." When Naomi realized that Ruth was determined to go with her, she stopped urging her. So the two women went on until they came to Bethlehem. When they arrived in Bethlehem, the whole town was stirred because of them, and the women exclaimed, "Can this be Naomi?" "Don't call me Naomi," she told them. "Call me Mara, because the Almighty has made my life bitter. I went away full, but the Lord has brought me back empty. Why call me Naomi? The Lord has afflicted me. The Almighty has brought misfortune upon me." So Naomi returned from Moab, accompanied by Ruth the Moabitess, her daughter in law, arriving in Bethlehem as the barley harvest was beginning. So Naomi wanted people, she even changed her name. So that's, I mean, it's, she was very grievous, and she felt that she had a relationship with the Lord, and she doesn't see why these things have happened to her. And so she, having a family, went from having a family and to being a widow, and not having a family. And so that has affected her. She feels like she's at a complete loss, and that the Lord may be against her. And even so, we can take that. We can, from past to present to future into future. Just because we are walking in the way doesn't mean we're not going to go through tests, trials, or temptations, or we're not going to sin either. None of us are Jesus. None of us are able to live perfectly. By believing in Jesus, we have accepted that the Lord sent his son to be the completion of the law, to be that perfectness, to be that reflection of perfectness within us. Because each and every one of us are made after his image. So when it comes to our walk, when negative things do happen, when bad things do happen, it's not irregular for someone, even of faith, to believe that they're being persecuted, or they're not, that the Lord is against them, and everything that they may do. And it could be difficult. And so when those times happen, we'll learn that it's best to draw closer to him, because a lot of times it's tests of patience, tests of who do we really rely on. Do we rely on ourselves or things that we believe we've done, or the things the place that we've been set? Do we rely on living things, as in things that are not of God, like as in going to the store and having the convenience of still having money, or being able to have running water. I mean, there's a lot of things that we take for granted. And so when bad times come, it's best to, request guidance from the Lord and ask for help, humble ourselves and ask for help, because it could be a test. You never know. What kind of thoughts or feelings come to your mind when we read about this, and how Naomi was so severely hurt that she even wanted to change her name to Mara, for people to call her, to show just how grievous she was at this point. How does it make you feel, and what does it make you think?